Tom Brady weighs in on A.J. Brown as a wide receiver and the situation that went on with Jalen Hurts. And what's wild, folks, is the question was asked by ours, Jason Kelce, Eagles legend, Super Bowl champion, maybe the most memorable speech in Eagles history. I don't know if I'll call it the greatest speech, but definitely the most memorable speech. So Tom Brady appeared on the New Heights podcast, and Jason Kelce asked him about, hey, we don't know what went on with AJ and Jalen on a personal level, but he said, but hey, you as a quarterback, how do you handle those types of wide receivers? And obviously what he's talking about is things like, well, you know what it is, right? They never, a lot of them, they just never get the ball enough. But I think the greatest example for a lot of us is the game that, oh man, I can't remember the game now, but it was Devontae Smith's best game of the season, where they kind of dialed things back for him after we had 189 yards and a touchdown and 10 catches, 11 catch, something like that. And AJ Brown had over 100 yards and a couple of touchdowns, but he only had, I think, 4 catches. And he whined and complained after the game. He gave that whole about them using him but not using him nonsense. So anyway, let's listen to this. I'm gonna at least let the first, I don't know how much more I'll play after, but at least let the first 90 seconds go, because Tom, it's pretty funny as well. So take a listen to this. We'll then talk about it. By the way, thank you for being here. Truly appreciate it. If you're enjoying the content, quick favor, like, comment, subscribe. It's the only way that the channel keeps growing. And we're about, I don't know, 15 subs away from 2,000. So thank you to all of you who are supporting the channel. Let's go.
Who knows what happened with the relationship with Jalen and AJ? That's kind of between them. But for you as a quarterback, how do you manage receivers and their happiness and being involved in the offense and all of that stuff? Like, what is that from your role?
It's very difficult. And I think that's the only position on offense that requires a lot of extra energy and attention, because the running backs are going to touch the ball. The line, they're going to be engaged in every play. The tight ends, run or pass, you're going to be engaged in every play. It's the receivers who stand, 25 yards from the ball, just talking smack with the DB
the whole time,
trying to figure out, all right, I ran my ass off and didn't get the ball. And how do I stay locked in and committed to the team when I don't touch the ball? And it's a hard thing. Like, they're working hard to get the ball and they don't get it. So they get frustrated so easy. And I almost think, like, when I see these NFL off seasons, I swear to God, I think now, like, this is just deja vu. I've been seeing the same shit since 2000 when I came into the league. This guy this guy gets in trouble. He's arrested. This guy gets cut. This guy gets traded. This guy's unhappy at receiver. You know what I mean? It's like it's like Real Housewives of the NFL, and it's like it's the same.
Dude, he's not wrong. No filter, because I don't think you're allowed to say stuff like that, Tom, man. That's not a good look for the league. And the Kelce brothers are, of course, loving it. But that is true, right? It is true. Every single offseason. Oh, anyway, here we go. Let's go. Let's get into the wide receiver stuff.
Grip. And it's like over. And we just, that position, it's like, I almost want to, like, the psychology of receiver, I almost want to say, like, you're going to catch 110 balls this year, okay? You're 17 games. You're a great receiver. You're going to catch 110 balls. One game, you're going to get 11, and one game, you're going to get 3. And the next game, you're probably going to get 11, then you're going to get 3. I can't have you, like, the happiest guy in the world when you catch 11 or the most miserable guy on the team when you catch 3. We got to look at it over the course of the year. You got to sustain, because it is a lot of emotional energy that you put out to that position to go, come on, we got it. Come on, stay locked in. Let's go, because I need you. Come on. And it's like that position takes away, if you have that volatile emotional output, it takes a lot of energy from a lot of people to keep that player really stable. So you got to, like, try to reframe it for them and just say, listen, like, you may get 3, but you're going to get 11, or you might get 11, And then, three, it's just the way it goes.
Yeah.
If they're doubling Travis, you ain't touching the ball. That's the reality. If they're butching you at the line of scrimmage with the defensive end and they've got, some ridiculous athlete over the top of you, you ain't, but it frees it up for other people.
Exactly.
And you got to be cool with that. So, I mean, as we're going to see it again this year. Who's the next unhappy receiver? And I understand it. I mean, that's not, they want to be involved in the game,
Yeah.
and AJ wanted to be involved in the game. I covered a lot of those Eagles games. And that passing offense that's not what that team's known for. So now he's actually going to a team where they are more known for their passing offense. So there will be maybe a little more satisfaction from him from that standpoint.
Who knows
What I want to address the thing at the end though, because first of all, I love this. I thought it was a good, really good, and I love the Real Housewives of the NFL thing. And he's talking about the players, which is kind of wild, but it is true. Like, I will say, as much as there are some receivers out there that are just absolutely nuts about give me the ball, give me the ball, give me the ball, it is difficult and frustrating in that respect that you can work so hard all the time, even if your number is called, but it doesn't come to you, right? That's probably the frustrating thing is when your number is called and it goes elsewhere because the defense did a great job, or maybe, the quarterback just felt like you weren't open enough and they went elsewhere to an easier play or a check down or what have you. But you also, for me, and let me know, I really want to hear what y'all think, because I've kind of evolved like as the season went and we hear more about AJ and things he said, and I watched the tape, and that's the biggest one. If you haven't seen that video where I went through how often AJ Brown gave up on routes, gave up on plays where the ball was actually thrown to him where it would have been caught, but it looks like Jalen overthrew him because he stopped his route and then, tried to kick it into gear again. Is great players want to make plays, and I get that 100%. They want to contribute to winning. I think that's where the problem is with AJ Brown that might separate him in a negative way from some of the other greats is, and again, the stuff with the Devontae, when Devontae Smith had the 183 or 189-yard game, and AJ himself had 100. But Devontae caught a lot more passes and AJ wasn't happy, right? He doesn't want to contribute to winning. He wants to be the guy. He wants to get his numbers whether the team wins or not, and that's when you have a massive problem. But the part that Tom mentioned at the end that I want to finish up with also is because we talk about, did the Eagles throw as much as a lot of other teams? No, although they did in 23. But if AJ Brown stayed an Eagle for 10 years with the same production, like take what he's had, and it was what, 5,000 some yards in 4 years or whatever. I mean, the man's on a Hall of Fame trajectory with his production, even in an offense that is not throwing the ball all over the field every single play. So, which just goes to my point that I guess I'm trying to make is I think there's a little too much selfishness in AJ Brown, where it's a little too much about AJ's production over winning, as opposed to a great player who knows he's great and knows that if he gets the ball and makes the plays that he knows he can make, he's going to help his team win, and they're going to win more games by him being involved. Where AJ's, it's more like, well, I just want to make sure I'm involved, and then if we win too, that's great. But anyway, I thought it was really interesting for Tom talking about the psychology of receivers and how he looks at it from a quarterback standpoint and that sort of thing. But anyway, let me know your thoughts. Training camp's coming soon. I will talk to y'all later.